The one question that's been burning everybody's ass for an entire week. When did Electro discover that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Easy answer, he never did. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the reveal that Peter Parker is Spider-Man happens after Electro dies. Now, there are two instances in No Way Home where Electro kind of drops hints that he didn't get pulled here like the other villains were, which is the very first one when he gets grounded and he's butt naked in front of both Sandman and Peter. He says that he felt an energy source and he followed it here. The very second time is when he's in the detainment cell in the Sanctum Sanctorum, where he says that Spider-Man turned his energy against him and he turned into pure energy. What we can assume is, as Electro was dying and he was turned into pure energy, when the rift opened, he sensed the energy, which was the arc reactor, and he followed the energy source into the MCU, which is why he ended up where he did. So he didn't get pulled into the universe traditionally like most of the other villains is. Is this a weak reason? Absolutely. It's more or less us, the fans, creating the reason as to why Electro is in the movie, because the reason for the villains essentially being summoned in No Way Home does not apply to him, because he does not know Peter Parker's identity. I think it would have been a lot easier if essentially the spell was pulling in people that were familiar with Spider-Man. Characters familiar with Spider-Man would have made more sense being pulled into the universe than people who know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, because you run into situations where you have certain characters who show up in that side sequence who definitely do not know that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same people. Otherwise, they would be jumping him every single time he stepped out of his house. Now, are they ever going to correct it? There really is no need. Who cares? They're not going to go back and reference it in any way, shape, or form. All the villains were essentially one-offs, so here we are. But the major answer to the question, did he know who Peter Parker was? No. How did he end up where everyone was? They kind of give two weak explanations in the movie. The first one is when he was turning into pure energy, he felt an energy source, he followed the energy source, he ended up inside of the MCU. Do they go over this or elaborate it in any way, shape, or form during the movie? Absolutely not. But that's it. And I will catch you in the next video that involves another MCU plot hole. Peace.